Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 26 of Kayfabe Coffee, the show that keeps it real while we pretend it's real. I'm your host this morning, Kyle Gagliardi, the barista of broken kayfabe, if you will, pouring out hot takes stronger than a Starbucks shaken espresso. Welcome to Kayfabe Coffee here on the Main Event Wrestling Network. As you can see, it is Thursday, and I'm not alone. I got my friend JPJ in the house. Feel like we haven't done this in a couple weeks, man. What's going on? How you doing?
We're good, man. We're good. Excited to be back chatting with you. You had a couple eventful weeks traveling and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm pumped to be back. I'm pumped to be talking about Dynamite. Thought they gave us a great episode of Dynamite last night.
Right.
So yeah, man. I'm ready to go. I'm having a good time. Happy to be here, man.
Good to hear, dude. How's the Red Sox going? I haven't been paying much attention.
Oh, they're fucking trash, bro.
Still bad?
Oh, they're gonna get swept by the Yankees today.
That's not
good. It is what it is. They stink. Well, that's what happens when you have a cheap ass owner and an inept general manager that doesn't know how to. They refuse to pay big stars, and the GM can't evaluate a player to save his fucking life. And that's what you get.
That's an issue, right? Yeah,
it's bad. Listen, my owner John Henry hasn't been around the team for about 12 years. Like he's just an invisible owner. He's been around the team the last 2 weeks. Every day they've shown him in the stands because he knows they have people at Fenway chanting "Sell the team" during the broadcasts and things like that, because he knows the shit has hit the fan. It's been 10. We had a couple successful years, but it's been 8 straight years.
Now people have had enough.
Acting like a small market team when we are the Boston fucking Red Sox. And the fans, I don't know why it took this long, but the fans seem to have finally had enough and they're pushing back a little bit. And we'll see. I don't think anything will change because he's a billionaire that only cares about his pockets. And if he doesn't spend money, he's richer. It's not like he's losing money on the Red Sox. They're a $1 billion franchise.
Right.
He could do nothing, and Fenway will still sell out because traveling teams fans will. I got to go to Fenway Park. It's a lifelong. I got to go to Fenway.
Oh, so I still got to go to Fenway. I've never even been.
Yeah. But, so there's fans like you when your team comes here, even if the Red Sox are dog shit, which they are. Fans of if the Cardinals come to town on a weekend series and you have the means and the availability to do it, you and a bunch of other Cardinals are a good fan base. They're smart baseball people. Yeah. You're going to come to Fenway Park.
For sure.
And Fenway only has 34,000 seats. It's not a big stadium.
Oh, wow. I didn't know they were under 40.
I think a sellout is like 36. 36.
Well, I guess that makes sense when it was built in what?
It was built in 1912. Yeah. So
like
this, if you're anything over 160 pounds and 5'8", you're struggling in the seats.
Oh, that means I'm good.
It's the most expensive seat in the game. It's the most expensive souvenirs, the most expensive, drinks, food, whatever. And you're putting out a dog shit product for half a decade. Like, go screw yourself.
I hear it. Hey, that's what was happening in St. Louis for a little bit. We were good for so long. They started losing the last couple of years, and people just stopped going to games. They're like, all right, the only way you're going to send a message to these billionaires is by to stop buying tickets, not going to games, supporting the team. That's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, that's how you really do it, is you stop watching the games. I don't know if the Cardinals have their own network, but the Red Sox have their own network where you watch all the games. Stop watching the games, stop giving them ratings, and stop going to the games. Just the unfortunate thing is the Fenway is such a landmark in regular history, let alone baseball history, that, you can go to a game in the middle of June against the Miami Marlins, and it's going to be 90% full because people are just coming to go to Fenway Park and experience Fenway,
Well, that's exactly what I was saying to my boy Vogus in Vegas, because we were staying at the Excalibur, and they were building the new A Stadium right by there, and I'm like, that stadium is going to be full of away fans every single series,
100%.
Because Vegas is such a destination, as you know, that these away teams, like you were saying for Fenway, are going to do the same thing for the Las Vegas A's.
100%. Our team is going to Las Vegas for a weekend to play the A's. Yeah, why don't we go to Vegas for the weekend and we'll catch the games?
And hotels are cheap there.
Vegas.
Yeah,
exactly. So it makes sense. Like there's going to be 100%, and then there's just going to be regular people that are going to Vegas just to go to Vegas, whether it's business.
Oh, might as well catch a game.
And they're going to be like, "Oh, I'm a baseball fan. This game is probably cheap tickets, so let's go to see the A's." And the A's have a decently good young team, so it's not like,
Yeah, it's not like they don't have a future. Correct.
Exactly.
And they're moving quick on that thing, man. Like I said, I was right by it, and they think they're going to be up in 2 years. So,
well,
good
they
for
said
the
that
A's.
2027 would be the year they would.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
So
2 more years left. They had the outfield frame was already set up.
That's cool.
So
that's cool.
They got
that'll be good. That'll be good. I still feel bad about, growing up a baseball fan, and I know you did too. The Oakland A's are like, that wasn't just some schmuck franchise they moved. Like the Oakland A's are like
Ricky Henderson is
World Series, Ricky Henderson, Reggie Jackson, Raleigh Fingers, McGuire. Like they were like a storied franchise in the 80s and 70s. They were championship contenders. Eckersley, Tony La Russa, the longtime manager. So I feel bad about the Oakland side of it. That's what happens when, again, they're building a new stadium in Vegas, but that's what happens when you have bad ownership, is what happens in Oakland. Because they should have just built a new stadium in Oakland.
That stadium.
But they wanted the taxpayers to pay for it and not the billionaire fucking owner. Huh. And then he said, screw you, I'm going to move the team because he's a piece of shit.
Oh, billionaires being greedy. Who would have thought?
Oh, I don't want to spend any of my money that I'll never even know I spent because I'm a billionaire. I want the people that barely scrape by to pay for my stadium. Okay, thank you.
A lot of what we're saying kind of sounds like TKO.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's a lot of parallels there, especially. I'll tell you what, dude. I know we're not here to talk WWE.
Yeah, we're talking the other company. WrestleMania was WrestleMania. I know you were there.
Night 1 was trash.
Night 2
was good.
I understand. It was better than Night 1. It had a fabulous main event. That's
one of the best WrestleMania main events I've seen.
It had a fabulous main event. It was much better than Night 1. I think because Night 1 was so bad, people are overvaluing what Night 2 was.
I think that's a fair way of looking at it. And
I'm not saying Night 2 was bad. I don't think it was. I think it was a solid. I would call it solid. I think it was a solid night of WrestleMania with an all-time main event.
All-time main event. And honestly, all-time moment to kick off Night 2. Like, the vibe in the stadium for Oba versus Brock was real. Like, what I kept saying it before, and you guys probably talked about it on the Beards podcast as well. That was the match I was most looking forward to, and that's definitely the energy that it gave off. That and the main event, they bookended Night 2.
And look at the ladder match was fun. Was fun, but the other matches, again, like Night 1,
needed more
too
time.
Short. The Demon and Dom was mid. That was a mid affair. They ruined the surprise by telling us the Demon was going to be there. If nobody knows the Demon is coming without the little, you can tease it all you want. Do the little teasers. That's fine. If we don't fully know the Demon is coming and Finn comes out as the Demon there, the vibe of that match is completely different.
Same thing with Paige earlier.
Yep. And like the vibe of that match is completely different.
100%.
That's just how that goes. They ruined it by spoiling that. I mean, you were there, so it's...
no, I was going to say, as somebody that's a diehard NXT fan, I know that I would have popped louder if you just would have hit the boom, boom right at the beginning, and then I'd be like, oh, shit, the Demon's
Then
here.
Everybody in the whole arena is like,
stands
oh,
up.
Shit, they're doing like the Demon's here. And then the vibe is... Because if you know he's coming, you're still excited because it's cool. It hasn't happened in years. But, like, it's just a different thing. And I thought Rhea and Jade was solid, but it wasn't long enough. And I get it. Jade is, it needed more. It was a great finish, the little reversal.
Jade looked good,
Jade looked good. I give Rhea full credit
100%.
for most of that. But, Jade looked good. It was one of her better matches in WWE for sure, but it was still too short. I wanted more involvement with Michin and B-Fab and EO, and, I wanted more of that. I'm glad they gave EO a moment.
Yeah. Still not having a match is insane to me.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree with you about the vibe of the opening match, and they did the right thing. They put Ova over. We had talked about it. I'm glad he just stood up. I called that. I said he should just stand up after he takes the F5 or a 1 count maximum. And he just stood up. But it's a 4.5 minute match, which of all the matches, that's the match that should have been that short. But 2/3 of it was Brock Lesnar fucking tossing him around, giving him a million German suplex. Again, they did the right thing. They put Ober over. It worked. You saw what happened on Raw on Monday. That dude is a made man. They did the right thing. But I think people are overvaluing how that match went, because that match it was Ober getting the shit kicked out of him for 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, my adrenaline was pumping, so I don't.
And that's what I'm
remember.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
but I feel like people are just you're focused on
Oh yeah, no, I get where you're
how
coming from for
over
sure.
Oba is and what happened at the end of it, which was the clear right decision.
Oh
Which I
yeah,
think us longtime wrestling fans were scared shitless that they
that's what
weren't
I was
going to
gonna
do that.
say. It's a lot better than us sitting here a week after the fact and Brock won, and we're just sitting here
Yeah.
bitching the entire
And I
time
think
because
all of us knew that if they were to put Brock over, that would be such a WWE thing to do. So we were so relieved, happy, and like just relieved and happy that they did the right thing with Oba, that we're kind of overlooking how that match played out because Oba got his shit kicked in for the majority of that short match.
And I think he obviously should have taken a little bit, but
Of
to be
course.
completely dominated, I could see why you would have some criticism there. But
Yeah.
I mean,
But that guy
overall, I
rules,
think.
man.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of people were saying it. Like night one just was the TKO show. Night two was WWE. WWE
Yeah.
decided, all right, we'll give you our best, and
Yeah.
I think they gave us a pretty good show. But
I
hey,
thought they did.
we're here to talk Dynamite. That's what we do over here. And the breaking news that people did not, keep up with the socials. This man right over here is going to be taking over every Thursday morning going forward, and maybe you'll have some special guests joining you for this show. Who knows? But I'm excited to hand over the keys to you every Thursday morning, JPJ.
Yeah, it should be good. It should be good. Obviously, I like coming here and chatting with you, but yeah, in a few weeks I'll be kind of the lead guy here. I don't know. Some weeks will probably be solo, just me kind of running through it, doing my thing, like you do the solo thing every so often.
It's nice to do a solo show from time to time. I think you're gonna like it.
Yeah, and like you get to dictate the pace. I'm not gonna be like when you're by yourself and you're not riffing off anybody. If you go through the show in 35-40 minutes, you go through the show in 35-40 minutes. Like it's cool. I'll have people in the chat, and then if occasionally people are around on a Thursday morning, East Coast time or West Coast time or whatever it is, and they want to hop on, but it'll be fun. I'm glad I kind of got in a groove, not every Thursday because sometimes life stuff gets in the way, but
Sure.
I got in a groove that I had been here with you, the majority of the last few months of Thursdays. So
No doubt.
I didn't want certain things to just go away because of stuff. So I was like, hey man, like I'm available. Like I can take over the show if you want me to take over the show, if you can't do it anymore. And
I was doing some reflecting too with the Great Brown Hope this weekend. It's like, if I didn't get let go from my previous job, there would be no Kayfabe Coffee. And it seems like people actually are enjoying what we are doing over here at the network because you guys, you were a part of it. You hosted one of the mixers this past weekend. The boys also had a watch along for JCW Stranglemania, and they gained a lot of subscribers. So some serious momentum going on over here, guys. So if you want to be a part of that, we're on the road to 400 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button. That QR code will obviously take you to all the good stuff over there. And to keep up with everything, to keep up with the streams, when JPJ will be going live, when GBH will be taking over on Tuesdays, at main event _net is how you're going to keep up with everything Main Event Wrestling Network. But I said we get into Dynamite, and things kicked off with the former AEW champion, MJF. So obviously this headline hasn't been discussed here on this show because WrestleMania stole all the headlines right after this happened. But last week, Darby Allin became the new AEW champion, which completely shocked me. I know a lot of people said they saw it coming, but still, it was surprising to me, JPJ. I don't know about you, to see Darby essentially squash MJF last week, but they played into it with the storyline that they've always been telling with the headlock takeover on MJF, which was a nice little touch, I thought. So overall, before we get into this little segment here between MJF and Kevin Knight, how did you feel about last week and how they went about that main event there with Darby?
I would have preferred a match. I would have preferred, I had a feeling when they announced it that he was going to win. When they showed Sting in the back before the match, I knew 100% he was going to win. You don't bring Sting around if he's going to lose.
Sure.
So once I saw Sting, I was like, oh shit, like they're doing this. I thought it would have done. Now again, he's a day one guy. I think there have been multiple times in his career with AEW where we have thought like, oh shit, are they really going to push Darby towards a world title? I thought the time to do it was during the Death Rider stuff.
100%.
But he obviously, he had a life goal that he wanted to accomplish, and that was climbing Mount Everest. And I just think the timing was off. I don't think this is a long title reign. I think MJF wins it back at Double or Nothing. But I would have preferred a regular match. I don't have a problem with Darby winning. I wouldn't say I'm a Darby fan, but like I don't dislike Darby. But you know, I wouldn't say like he's one of my he's not one of my favorites in AEW. I could give you 20 people I like.
I was gonna say there's a long list of names I would put ahead of Darby Allin as
but
well.
I don't dislike him. I totally understand how over he is. I get why people gravitate towards him and that character. People appreciate people that put their body on the line for this shit, and he does it, and he does it regularly. And some of it's like we're gonna talk about it later, but like, you know, you do an Irish curse from the fucking corner to the floor. Like, not everybody does, you know. So people appreciate that type of stuff. I think, you know, I think he deserves to be world champion at least once. I think like this was all right. I just feel like the squash was not what I would have. It doesn't have to be this wicked long match, but like I think a match of him building where during the match you're like, holy crap, he's going to do it. Oh my God, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. And like then he does it after 10, 12, 15 minutes. I feel like that would have, at least for me, given like that would have been a better situation for me as opposed to just the shock and awe of like, holy crap, are they going to have him squat? Like, is this what we're doing?
Yeah, it's a tough decision, obviously, to make. You're going to get scrutinized regardless if you make a decision like this. And I agree with you. I think Darby eventually was going to win the world title. Like this moment, I think it had to happen because he represents underdogs. I mean, you talked about it. He sacrifices his body week in and week out for the company. So I'm not mad at the fact that he's holding that World Heavyweight Championship for a little bit. But I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm a fan of Darby Allin or I like Darby Allin. I get it. It's fine. Have this moment. He deserves it. But after a while, we got to get it back on MJF because MJF was having a great start to that run with that World Championship. And I think me and you talked about it. I feel like AEW is at its best when MJF is holding the World Heavyweight Championship because you could create moments like this. Like, Darby Allin isn't so over unless he has an adversary like an MJF. That story needed to be in play for this moment to connect. It connected with a lot of people. I wasn't one of those people. But then again, I also see why MJF is sitting here and he's bitching here to start off Dynamite. But your boy, I know how high you are on Kevin Knight. He came out. He ain't gonna put up with MJF shit. So we're gonna have a match for the TNT title, which I think is also a nice little thing that MJF's gonna go after another title now, so he's not in the world title scene all the time. So give me your thoughts about them setting that up for next week.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we saw these two fight not too long ago in the world title eliminator match. They had a great match. MJF had to cheat to win. Kevin Knight is exactly what AEW is showing you and showing us that Kevin Knight is. He is the real deal. He is going to be a main event world champion caliber guy for that company for a long, long time. And I think it's quite evident that this is now the second time they're throwing him with MJF in just a couple months. And they've done the speedball thing too in this promo. MJF took a shot at speedball in it because that is something that they're going to continue to do with speedball as well. I like this a lot. I like MJF being furious and kind of being angry that he got like he gets people. I think it's just kind of a funny, oh, he cheated. He hit me in the nut. He did this. Oh, that's all the shit that you do, MJF. You do that shit constantly. And you win your matches and you laugh off people when, So I just think it's like kind of a good character. It's a typical bad guy heel shit, right? And MJF did it great. And then to get confronted by Kevin Knight, and I loved what Kevin Knight had to say, where he was like, bro, I had you beat. You would, I'm getting tired of you running your mouth, all that stuff. And I just think it worked. And now we have a big time championship match to look forward to next week on Dynamite.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Knight keeps the belt, but like it wouldn't be crazy. I don't know. It's MJF. He doesn't really lose a lot.
There's gonna be shenanigans involved. That's for sure.
Yeah, 1,000%. But yeah, no, I really liked it. I like that. Now we have a big match to look forward to. Yeah, and while Darby, and again, we see the MJF and Darby stuff later that we'll talk about, but like MJF is clearly his main objective is to get the world title back from Darby, but to have a little side mission where he can win some different gold that he hasn't held before. It's not a bad little substitute while we're kind of building towards the inevitable rematch, I feel like.
True that. It's just something different for MJF to do for sure.
And what I'm sorry, one last thing about last week. I just think when 3 days earlier, MJF goes 40 minutes with Kenny Omega, kicks out of the one-winged angel.
Yeah.
And retains the world title. And then a month before that, he goes 50 minutes in a fucking Texas death match with the king of Texas death matches.
Yeah.
And wins that match to the point where, like he said at the beginning of this promo, Hangman can never challenge for the title again. And then and again, I'm not saying this is a negative. I'm just saying, but like a little pipsqueak, like Darby Allin squashes him in a minute and a half. I just think not wrong, not upset about the destination of where we got. I just feel like it's because now you got MJF who's been squashed twice now.
Yeah,
and Brody King makes sense. He's a mammoth.
That one, yeah, and I have no complaints about that.
He's a huge individial, but like MJF's not even the biggest guy in the world, but Darby Allin looks like he's half of MJF's size.
Yeah, Darby Allin looks smaller than me, and I'm a small guy. So, no, trust me. No, I was not saying that MJF should have lost. I thought he
should have lost to Hangman, just strictly because I think it is stupid and malpractice of business to have your main character, your most important guy, never to be able to win your world title again.
Yeah, and they haven't had any like follow up.
No, because he hasn't been around. He's taking time off, which I think is good to separate it a little bit.
That's actually,
But when he comes back, you still have to get to the point where it's like, okay, so this guy that everyone loves, he's like the main guy in your company that everyone fucking loves.
Yeah.
And wants to be the champion.
It's like LA Knight.
He can never be champion ever again. Ever. Unless you prove that you're bullshit and you either reverse that, because it wasn't an official thing, it was a gentleman's agreement.
Okay, yeah, that's the shit that I hate when they start using the verbiage and
that is trying to twist. That is
yes, so it is. Yes, it is.
And like AEW, you're not supposed to do.
You're doing the opposite. Like yeah, you do the.
You know what I mean? Like you're not supposed to do bullshit like that. And the second before that match at Revolution, where they were like, "Oh, it's a gentleman's agreement," go f yourself. You're setting yourself up for that. This isn't really gonna fucking matter.
Because we know eventually Hangman is going to get to that 100%. World title again. There's no way he 100%. Does it. We've seen this one before, guys. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Hangman Page will hold that AEW world title.
Or the good guy Young Bucks will say, "Hey, we're EVPs. That doesn't count."
Oh no!
They're gonna do something. It's gonna do something, and it's gonna
be
like,
way.
Now it's just bullshit. Now now there's bull. So now everything that happens from now on, I have to worry about you doing bullshit because you just set the precedent that you're gonna do bullshit.
Don't ever set the precedent for bullshit because now we're gonna expect bullshit. Put that on a T-shirt. Maybe we should start selling those shirts on our merch site. Hey guys, I spent a lot of money in Vegas, so there it is down below.
You didn't win any money?
Dude. So the first night I was by myself, Focus, my friend didn't get in until Friday. I lost a couple hundred at blackjack early. Because, I mean, you're by yourself. What else am I going to do? I'm going to gamble. But then he came
why do you
in.
have to lose? Just play.
Exactly.
Just sit there and get through it.
So then my friend comes in, and of course you're not going to not gamble with your friend.
Yeah, of course.
That didn't go well the first night, and then it just spiraled. And let me just say, I made some memories, dude. I don't know if you got the chance to see my vlog, but that's available on the network right now. Mm-hmm. Go check that out, everybody. It was a blast. I don't know if you've ever... JPJ, have you done a WrestleMania?
Oh, yeah.
Which ones have you gone to?
I went to WrestleMania 14 in Boston when I was a child. That was the Stone Cold era.
All right.
Beat Shawn Michaels and Mike Tyson.
Hell yeah.
So I was there but I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I went to WrestleMania 32 in Dallas, which was a dog shit WrestleMania.
I was going to say, that wasn't a good one. That was Brock Roman,
but
right?
the NXT show was worth it. That was Nakamura's debut against Sammy. That was Bayley and Asuka, where Asuka beat her for the title. That was the ridiculously good American Alpha FTR or Revival match to start that show.
That's right.
So I saw that, and then I went to WrestleMania 35 in New York, where Becky and the ladies main evented.
The
That
main event,
NXT takeover was also the highlight of that weekend. That had the Adam Cole Gargano 2 out of 3 falls.
One of the best matches in NXT
Ricochet
history.
and Aleister Black against the War Raiders for the tag titles was fucking incredible. That opened that show.
All of those shows, all the NXT takeovers were just the best pro wrestling you will ever see.
Yeah, so I've done those. I actually did. I did SummerSlam in Vegas in 2021 when they first went back
after COVID. Yeah,
I did that one. That was I do stuff for Love Wrestling. That was the first time I ever met Spencer Love in person at real life.
Okay.
We went together and we roomed in a hotel room with Joel Pearl of Fightful fame. It was the three of us rooming in a room. And that Friday night before SummerSlam, that's when CM Punk returned to AEW.
Oh, yeah, and I was there for that. I was at the Rampage.
So the three of us, grown-ass men in Las Vegas at like 9 o'clock on a Friday night are sitting in a hotel room with a laptop connected to a television so we can watch CM Punk return. And I'm sitting here and I'm just like, we are 3 dudes in our 30s, in our mid to late 30s.
SummerSlam weekend.
In Las Vegas on a Friday night, and we're sitting in a hotel room watching this guy
CM Punk return.
Fucking, like, obviously I love it. Duh, I'm not making fun of us. I love wrestling fans. But I'm like, what fucking nerds are we? That we are Friday night in Vegas. We could be doing anything in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, we're going to stay in the hotel room. CM Punk's coming back. We got to watch CM Punk.
I was thinking the same thing when I was just doing everything wrestling related this past weekend. All these people in Las Vegas doing all these other things, and here I am just doing all the wrestling stuff.
My buddy, he doesn't watch. He knows obviously I do, but like he travels to Vegas like every few months for conventions for his work. And he texted me over the weekend. And he was like, "Are you here for this WrestleMania shit?" And I'm like, "No, I wish I was, but no." He goes, "So many fucking people." I'm like, "Oh, you're there for work?" He goes, "Dude, it's a joke. It's a joke." He goes, "There's so many people." He goes, "There's wrestling stuff, and there were like 2 or 3 other things going on." He's like, I think Fish was playing at the Sphere that weekend as well.
They were.
He's like, so I got wrestling fans. I got these fucking hippies over here with Fish. Like, it's just fucking nonsense.
It was wild scene. Just a conglomeration of so many different humans in Las Vegas this past week. But
just the way he was like describing it to me. He's like, I'm looking over here. I'm seeing a bunch of wrestling nerds. Then I look over here. I see hippies. I'm like, where am I?
I don't know if you follow Big Trouble Ben Bishop on social media, but he obviously was working, wrestling that job for WrestleMania weekend, and he had to come back on Monday for his shoot job at a convention, and he goes, "Oh no, I'm back here again. This is my nightmare." And I'll tell you this: we don't need to get into much of the details about how fans were in Las Vegas, but a lot of you are freaking weird, man. Leave these people alone. This is their private lives. This is where they're supposed to escape everything. Just because you know who they are and they're on TV doesn't mean they're obligated to give you any attention whatsoever. That's all I got to say, JPJ, because people were rude this weekend, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, people are losers for the most part, so.
True.
These people don't owe you shit. That guy's lucky that he only got his phone slapped, because if I was CM Punk, I would have knocked his ass unconscious.
That's what I said.
So you go over there with your phone. Over there with your phone. One of the people that you're trying to film literally shoos away your phone on their own, which should a normal human being, a normal human being doesn't even go over there and try to film it, because you're like that. If your fucking longtime girlfriend's coming off a flight at the airport. Do you want a stranger filming you hugging or kissing her? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Right.
So
weird.
It's just stupid. And then, so they tell you, that's them telling you like, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. And then you continue the behavior. Yeah. At that point, I know there are laws and I don't want violence for anybody, but at that point, you deserve to get knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And he's lucky it was just his phone, because like I said, if I was CM Punk, now CM Punk is a smart man. He knows that that's going to cause a lot of problems if he probably
trained. Yep.
Yes. So he did what he did, and you could tell he was, he was ready to go.
Oh, that's how you handle that situation. He handled it perfectly, I thought.
These people don't owe you and like that is one thing, but like Booker T said that he had fans like following him into the bathroom.
That's weird.
And filming him in the bathroom. Like,
very weird.
You're a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
if you do that. You're a weirdo. I have been to a million wrestling conventions. I've been to a million wrestling shows. I was one of the guys that whenever they came around to Boston, me and my buddies would go to the Kowloon after because we knew they all went to the Kowloon to get good Chinese food and stuff like that. And there were certain people there that would always be there, and you would see them with these binders of things for these wrestlers to sign. So losers. And then there were people like me and my friend that were there to get food. And then a wrestler would walk by and we'd give a head nod or we'd put our hand out for a handshake. Nothing crazy. They would shake our hands. Hey, thanks, guys, and walk off. And we would be completely normal. Just like, oh, all right, cool. That was cool. He was nice. He gave us a fist bump and whatever. And then we'd go about our days. There are people at one point, and I know we got to get to Dynamite, but at one point, we were around the side of the building sitting on some steps, just kind of chilling. And at the time, Jack Swagger.
Oh, God.
Comes out of where they're eating, and he sits down on the steps, literally right next to us. And he pulls out a cigarette to smoke a cigarette. And we look at him, and he goes, "You guys seem." He said, "You guys seem normal, so I'm gonna chill here if that's all right." And I said, "Yeah, we're not like these fucking people." And he's like, "It's insane, bro." Yeah, and he's sitting there smoking a cigarette for like 45 seconds, and then you see this fucking gargoyle come from around the corner of the building. And this is exactly what he does. He comes around the corner, he sees us, and I'm looking right, and he goes, Jack Swagger! Jack Swagger! And then like fucking rodents. You see like fucking 20, and these are grown-ass people. These aren't kids. These aren't like fucking, these are like grown-ups from the fucking swamps. And they come around the fucking corner, and they're like, and Swagger looked right at us, and he goes, "Thanks for being cool." And he flipped his cigarette and just ran inside the building again. And then I'm just looking at him like, you guys are just fucking losers. Like, you're losers.
And that's about the scenes that I saw in Las Vegas. Anytime a wrestler was seen in the hotel, they just got mobbed. Like you said, it's pretty simple. Like Jacob Fatu, I saw him at WWE World. We were in the back of WWE World, so there wasn't a mob of people. But I didn't storm at him. I didn't take my phone out and just start recording. I just said, "Hey, Fatu, great match last night. Keep up the good work." That was it.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Don't bother them.
It's not hard. It's not hard.
It is hard for a lot of people, apparently. But hey, let's talk a little bit more about some Dynamite here as Brody King took on Lio Rush, who this was actually my first exposure to the new Lio Rush.
Oh, man, this character is different.
Yeah, this character. It went viral, I think, a couple weeks ago is when he debuted. Maybe it was a little longer ago, but I just saw it for the first time this week. And it's interesting. It definitely makes him stand out, JPJ, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. I love the commitment that he has to it. He's always been fantastic in the ring, and I think, all that adds to it. But yeah, whatever he's talking about, I don't know if there's a story behind it or we're going to get to it, but he keeps on saying he's getting stronger and stronger, and he's growing and he's getting stronger and stronger and blah, blah. And it's just like, okay. And he's got the contact lenses but then he starts going, and when he starts going, and it's right. It's really good. It's just different. He does that thing where he gallops, where he looks like an animal before he does the dive out of the ring. It's just it's different. It's very, very different, but it's getting over. It's getting over.
I was gonna say I respect when wrestlers just try shit, because Lio Rush, let's be real, a lot of the things that he was doing weren't working, or they at least weren't clicking in AEW. We know how talented Lio Rush is. We've seen him work some incredible matches, not just here in AEW, but in the WWE as well. Mm-hmm. This is, like you said, this is a one-of-one gimmick. We don't see anything else like this on TV right now. So I think this does have potential to be something. Now, it wasn't going to happen against Brody King, because this is exactly what should have happened. Brody King took care of Lio Rush. My thing is, though, JPJ, is where are we going with Brody King now? Because he's got a lot of momentum. I feel like he needs a solid direction. We need a definitive direction, maybe towards a title at some point.
Well, I mean, we saw later on after. So, after this match,
sure,
he basically gets on the mic and he says, "Hey, I'm going to be paying attention to the world title match in the main event of the show. And whoever comes out," he puts Darby over. He says, "Hey, I'm proud of you. Congratulations. But he goes, but I'm not so proud of you that I won't bring the violence to you. I'll be paying attention to that match.
Do you think they would run Brody and Darby face
They are next week.
Oh, they are? That's official?
After the match. Well, we're not there yet, but after the main event match, Brody came out and he said, I talked to Tony Khan. Next week, you and me, and Darby shook his hand.
Oh, shit. And the title's on the line, too, huh?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Which, if Darby's only going to have the title for a short amount of time, which I'm not expecting this to be a long title reign.
Yeah, no.
Having him be the fighting champion and fighting last night for the title, fighting Brody King next week for the title, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Darby winning the belt and then being the crazy guy that defends the title all the time because that's who he is, and then he loses the belt quickly because
that's the story.
That's who he is.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
That's the story in itself. He lost the title because he was just defending it.
He was just defending it every show he was on. He was just defending it because he's Darby Allin, and that's what he does.
He's gonna lose at Double or Nothing. I think you're right.
Yeah, MJF will win it back.
No reason that it should be longer than that, honestly, and that's not a shot at Darby. It's just this is something else that I think me and you talk about before is like the chase for a babyface. That's where the money is at. Once they get the title, people get bored of it. Like they're going to turn on a babyface champion very quick. They do it in the WWE all the time. Look at Cody Rhodes. Everybody's tired of Cody Rhodes now. It didn't take long. That was 3 years of him winning. Which, to be fair, ever since he returned, Cody Rhodes hasn't lost clean once.
Yeah,
he's been protected every single time he's lost, which is. I can understand why people have some criticism over Cody after that, because after a while, it's going to get boring. But after that, on Dynamite, let's move on here to Hikaru Shida, who is showing a different side to her. It's kind of like a heelish character, if you will. And she defeated Mina Shirakawa, who, I'll tell you this, too. In Vegas, AEW had some advertisements, and Mina was the face of a lot of the ads. So you could definitely tell that AEW has a lot of faith in Mina Shirakawa, even though she lost here to Shida. Shida seems to have some momentum with Chris Statlander, doesn't she?
She does. She does, until she'll turn on her.
Yeah.
When to cement the full heel turn, because Shida, it does feel like Shida is going heel. I feel like she was still babyface. It almost felt like Mina was more of the heel in this particular match. I think they kind of did it back and forth because at the end of it, Mina's going for the kendo stick and Statlander prevents her from using it.
Correct.
And Mina's like pissed off at Statlander. And then that kind of turns around to be the ending sequence of the match, like the distraction to help Shida get the win. So it's kind of like, it feels like they've been building to Shida turning heel here, which I feel like would be the right thing to do. It's been a while, if ever, that she's been a heel. At least it's been a long time.
Yeah, I was going to say, but it has been years. It's been years for sure.
So I think that would be a good spot for her. Statlander, I'm like, what is Statlander? Where's her space right now? Because she was world champion.
Know, man.
She had these 3 really good defenses, and then she lost to Tekla, which is fine. I think Tekla's doing great things with the title. Like, I have no problem with that. But now I just feel like Statlander's just kind of floating around, like she's,
and that's unfortunately been most of her AEW career. I feel like she's just been floating and hopping around from friend to friend.
Yeah, and it's like she was in the Best Friends, that dissolved. Then she's really good friends with Willow, and then that dissolves. Now she's kind of friendly with Shida.
That's gonna dissolve,
and that's gonna dissolve. So I'm just like, okay, well, like.
Everything she touches dissolves. Don't be friends with Statlander. It's not going to work.
Yeah, so that's kind of the part of it where I'm just like, all right, what really is like Statlander doing as well? Like in this, like is she
needs direction.
Yeah, because she's not really against Mina.
No.
Either. So I was just kind of.
It's a good point.
I don't know. I was kind of.
And I like Stat.
Yeah, but this was a good match between these two. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like Shida's turning heel, but I felt like Mina had some heelish things.
I get confused from time to time with AEW. Like they do blur the lines with like heel and face sometimes.
Which I
don't know if that's a crit. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even think that's a criticism. That's just an observation on the product as a whole. It's different.
Yeah, yeah.
What does Eric got to say? Do you think it was Shida who attacked Tony?
There was a kendo stick in the room.
Could be.
So I'll
be real with you. I'm not a big Sheeta fan, so it wouldn't really do much for me. But I think it's an option for sure.
Yeah, I think it could be. And again, she's one of the best wrestlers in the world, Sheeta. So if you want to bring her back and make her a focal point again, because she really did hold down that division for a year and a half, where she was
Britt Breaker.
Really, really good. If you want to bring her back as a heel, having her be the person that takes out Toni Storm for a year, I mean, that is a proper way to do it. And maybe that's why Mina wanted to use the stick on Sheeta last night, because Mina knows it was Sheeta.
Could be. There was a serious edge to Mina last night, so maybe the edge was she thinks it was Sheeta. Mm-hmm.
And then that's, she
has her own company in Japan that she owns. Oh, I didn't even know that. That's why she doesn't do long-term stories with AEW, because she has her own. Interesting. Eric was also at WrestleMania this past week. He got to meet, looks like, Shiloh Hill, Liv Morgan, and Roxanne Perez. That's a good trio. I don't know if you saw, but I got to meet Ethan Page. I got to see Kendall Gray, Vic Joseph, and Lillian Garcia. So that was pretty fun.
Not bad. I love Ethan Page. Very happy for that fella.
So when I was about to go in there and take my picture with him, there was a couple that went in before me, and Ethan went to go get a drink of water before he took the picture. And then he quickly turns around, and the couple's just standing there waiting to take the picture. He goes, "Oh, did you guys pay money to meet me or something like that?" He's like, "I guess we should just take this picture." I'm like, he's just such a natural heel.
He just gets it. Yep. Yeah, he just gets it. When he showed up on Raw Monday, I was like, that's a natural fit. Like he was great in NXT champion easily. Like it's just, right away. He's got everything you want in a pro wrestler. He looks good. He's a great wrestler. He can talk. He's charismatic. He's funny. He can do serious. He can do funny. He can do good guy. He can do bad guy. He's everything you want in a pro wrestler. And it was funny because he was in AEW for all that time, and I thought he was underutilized. And then he showed up in NXT, and I never really envisioned him in WWE or NXT. And the second he showed up in NXT, I was like, this is going to be a no-brainer home run. And it was really quick NXT champion.
6 weeks in, he was NXT champion.
And then he stayed down there for probably longer than he needed to, but he was just doing such good shit. Mm-hmm. And then the whole time I'm like, dude, when he gets to the main roster, it's not going to stop. Like, he's going to be this level of guy. And I thought bringing him in against Javon on Monday was perfect because of the history they had in NXT. I was there in Lowell when he knocked his teeth out and did that whole thing. Like, I was there. It was violent and gross. Like, that guy's a star, dude. He's going to be fighting for titles for a long time, Ethan Page. He gets it, man. And the Danhausen stuff, too, that he can do, because they had that long-term yeah, like that. There's just so much shit that you can do with Ethan Page.
And I'll tell you this, too. I know I said this on the last episode of Kayfabe Coffee, but I didn't get the chance to tell you. The two people that I would say were the most over WrestleMania weekend, the most shirts, the most talked about, Danhausen was number one.
Oh, yeah.
And Obafemi.
Yeah.
So, and look at everybody that made impacts at, like, WrestleMania weekend. All these NXT superstars. Like, I see people that crap on NXT. Oh, that product's not that good. Everybody that is making this ascension to the main roster right now came from NXT. They started somewhere, guys. So don't bash my NXT. That's all I got to say about that.
I agree.
Back to Dynamite, because Will Ospreay and Mark Davis had an incredible matchup. Will Ospreay came back a couple weeks ago, and he just said, I'm going to go balls to the wall. We're not easing into this, JPJ. I'm just going to have banger after banger after banger. The ending, though, scared the living hell out of me, because the next spot is obviously a thing that he likes to tease a lot, and he hit that pile driver on the apron, and Mark Davis was the one that ended up getting the win here. Lot to digest, because the Death Riders came out afterwards as well. It looked like they were there to defend Will Ospreay, but they took his lifeless carcass and kind of just took him out of the ring, kind of like the little people with Danhausen did to The Miz. So a lot to digest here, obviously. First off, I thought it was a great match, so tell me your thoughts as this one.
Yeah, really good match. Mark Davis continues to just be a stud. Like, literally a stud.
Every week.
Yeah, I like him more and more every week. I'm glad he got the win. It's a big win for him over Will Ospreay. I am going to say something, though. Is this what Will Ospreay is going to be from now on? Is every match he's in, we're going to have to do the spot where the doctor comes and checks his shit? Because it's been 2 weeks and I'm already sick of it.
I'm glad you said it because I didn't want to be negative, but yeah, I am with you.
Like,
yeah, no.
I'm already sick of it. Like I get it. He had a major neck injury. I'm glad he's back. It's clear that he's healthy and he can have these type of matches and do this stuff. I do not need every match that Will Ospreay is in now for him to take a big bump on the top of his head and the ref stand back. We got to have the doctor come. I don't need that every week because it's 2 weeks in a row and I'm already fucking sick of it.
So you and Jay Gold are on the same page. Just look at exactly what he texted me. He goes, "They're going to run this Ospreay gimmick forever, huh?"
Like I don't need it.
It is getting very repetitive, and
I don't need it. His opponents attacking his neck makes perfect sense. You can do that every match with his bad guy opponents trying to re-hurt his neck. Fine, but I don't need the doctor checking on Will Ospreay in every fucking Will Ospreay match for the next 6 months. I don't need that. I know he had a neck surgery. I know.
Right. They're making sure you know that for sure. There's another way that Mark Davis could have beaten Will Ospreay without hitting the pile driver and doing the neck spot.
Yeah.
Could have gone about another way.
Happy that Davis gets a win. That's a big beating Will Ospreay is a big feather in the cap for any wrestler. So Mark Davis, a guy that has been on the ascension, I think, since the mishap with Doyle getting hurt. I think Mark Davis has become a really singles player for AEW and the Don Callis family.
He's a great hand is how I view
100%.
him. Yeah.
And I like him getting a big win because he shouldn't lose all the time. And if you don't want to have Will Ospreay get pinned, fine. But you did a very similar thing last week, but Will overcame it and got a victory. Now he doesn't. Now the Death Rider stuff afterwards, I'm intrigued.
That was interesting.
I'm intrigued by because it looked like at first they showed up and it was like, oh, are they there to prevent Mark Davis from killing Will Ospreay right now? Like what? And then they just kind of took him. So I'm like, okay,
is he being held hostage?
Yes. Are they doing that to hold him hostage, or are they doing that to try to rebuild him?
That's what I'm wondering.
Like Moxley's trying to rebuild him into
under their image.
You're fucking Will Ospreay, dude. Trying to exactly. So I'm intrigued by all that. I love actually that.
Mm-hmm. It makes things more interesting going forward. But you're right. We don't need to see that.
It's only been 2 weeks, and I'll say it again. I'm already sick of it, and it's been 2 weeks.
I'm sick of it too. I'm glad you said it.
I don't need it.
You know me. I like to be positive most of the time, but that was something that really bothered me in the heat of the moment as well because it was a great match. I didn't want that to escape everybody's minds because it was so distracting how they finished it. It was a really good back and forth between those two, which that shouldn't be surprising because the familiarity between those two with Aussie Open.
Of course.
But after that, one of the best AEW World Champions, Samoa Joe, returned. Squash match against a local competitor, but I don't know what's next for Samoa Joe, but I'm glad to have him back, JPJ. That's basically my thoughts on the return of Samoa Joe.
Oh, yeah. First, this match went way longer than I thought it would.
I agree. It's too long for a spot.
I saw this guy, and I was like, Cody, that's your name? You're 30 seconds, bro. You're out in 30 seconds. But it actually went like 5 minutes. I was like, what the fuck is Joe letting this guy?
Joe and the Jobber went half the time of Liv and Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah, I was like, what? I was like, I just expected this match to be 45 seconds long. It's always good to have Samoa Joe back. I'm glad he's healthy. Samoa Joe rules. This is what it was. Again, it went longer for my taste than I think it needed to, but it was a glorified squash match. Joe wins relatively easily, and then they kind of did the thing with Hook waiting for him at the top of the ramp, so it seems like we're just gonna kind of, at least the Joe and Hook side of it, I guess, we're just going to kind of continue that thing, whatever. We'll see what happens. But, look, there's not much to dissect when it comes to this type of match. It's just good that Samoa Joe is healthy. He's cleared. He looked good. AEW is a stronger product when you got guys like that around. So
you need some, I forgot. That was Balls, or what's it called? Fire, Fury. What was the pay-per-view where Samoa Joe faced Brock
Great Balls.
Lesnar?
He should have beat Brock Lesnar.
Correct. I saw that T-shirt in a casino this past weekend. A Great Balls of Fire T-shirt. I'm like, who the heck bought that T-shirt?
One of the few guys that went to it.
But that's what reminded me of Joe should have became world champion at that show.
100%.
100%.
They should have. Oh, Peggy, Ophelia, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Peggy? Osprey has matches in Japan next week, and so maybe we'll get video packages explaining a story.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe that's playing into
again,
that.
like
it's repetitive.
I just don't need. Again, you want to play off the neck? Yeah, cool. Play off the neck. That's fine. There's been plenty of wrestlers that have played off long-term injuries they've had. I don't care about that. I don't need the spot even 2 weeks in a row, let alone if they do it more, where the match needs to be stopped so the doctor can come check on Will when we all know that Will's fucking fine.
Yeah.
We're wrestling fans. We know he's fine.
They're going to do it again. I'm just warning you now. They're going to do it again. It's going to be like Jey Uso, run it back.
Yeah, exactly. So now every time he takes a big bump and he's fucking looks like he's dead, I'm going to be
Get the meds out.
All right. Here we go. Stop the med. Doctor can check. Okay. All right. I don't.
A doctor should have checked on the main event because I don't know if you saw Tommaso Ciampa's face. The dude had a crimson mask for half of it. What a main event this was, first off, between Darby and Ciampa. Obviously.
The stuff that happened before, too, leading into it.
Oh, why don't you set the table a little bit before?
Well, Darby comes out.
Yep.
And he's kind of given his, the fans are doing the "you deserve it" chants and all that stuff. And you could tell he's emotional. I've kind of liked that about Darby the last couple times. He's kind of been emotional on his promo. He's always been an emotional guy. Yeah. Promos aren't really his strong point, but like he's always been in a kind of an emotional promo. Like he puts his heart and soul into it, like he kind of does with everything. But that promo he cut last week at the beginning of the show, where he was basically crying in the ring to Max, I thought that was really good. I thought that was one of his better promos, and I thought this one, he's like, where I had my first match? I had my first match right here in Portland. And everyone's going nuts and all that stuff. And he goes, and, I got this belt. I go, but this could all end right now with Ciampa coming out here. He goes, whether it's a 15-minute ride or not, like, I see what the title does to people. It grows their egos. It changes them. He goes, that's not for me. He goes, this title's not for me. He goes, it's for my parents. I helped retire, which I thought was a cool little line for him. He's like, it's for my beautiful fiance that I met on the school bus. He goes, it's for the Sherpas that helped me climb Mount Everest. And he's talking, he goes, so whether this ride is over or whenever I look in the mirror, like I know exactly who I'm looking at. That's not going to change. And then Max starts screaming and Max comes out and he's like, you don't deserve shit. I want my title back. Give me my title back. And Darby says, no, obviously. And then, MJF goes, all right, then I want a rematch. And Darby says, no. What do you say? I gotta be me was a great. What is it? Wait,
I don't think I'm comprehending. No,
I don't know. I might have missed that. I don't know what that means. I gotta be me.
I missed the boat on that one.
Is that the Darby thing?
Maybe. I don't know.
So like they start going back and forth. And then Ciampa interrupts MJF. And the entrance comes. And I was hoping that they gave me a face-to-face or some sort of foreshadowing to Ciampa versus MJF. And we got that. Because Ciampa's walking down the ring and the camera did a great shot where you only see Ciampa and you're kind of like, oh, did MJF leave? And then all of a sudden you see MJF's arm kind of stop Ciampa and he gets right in his face. And you could tell that he was basically like, the video package from earlier in the night. Yes. Okay, gotcha. They did a video package for Darby kind of showing his career earlier in the night. And he you can tell he's kind of looking at Ciampa and he's like, if you win tonight, I'm coming for you too. Like, I don't care. Like, you're an old man.
So good.
Yes.
Dude, Tommaso Ciampa reminded everyone why he's one of the best professional wrestlers out there. Like, this is what he should have been doing in WWE. Just having bangers of matches. And Darby, credit where credit is due, because I've been very critical of the Darby Allin style of match, because it does get repetitive at times. This was a very good start to the world title reign, having this kind of competitive matchup. There was a couple instances during this match, JPJ, where I honestly thought Ciampa was going to win. And like Peggy said, Ciampa's promo was also incredible. That dude just is a world-class talent.
The Ciampa backstage interview with Renee from earlier in the night was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. He was talking about, he's been told his whole career that he wasn't big enough. He doesn't pass the airport test. He's not charismatic enough. He's not main event material. He said, but I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a brother. He goes, I have insane work ethic.
He does.
And I go, and he goes, tonight's not about villains or heroes. It's about passion and proving that glass ceilings are imaginary. And that was a great line.
Fired me up.
Yeah, it was really, really good. And then this main event was incredible. If Darby, and I'm going to put Darby over here because I've been critical of his type of matches.
So have I.
With the car, and like there was some of that Irish curse was fucking insane during this match to the outside.
That was the best spot of the match for sure.
And then there was the spot where Darby jumped from the corner to Ciampa onto the table. Like, but if these are the type of matches we're going to get, even if it is a short title reign for a month, if Darby's going to give us these type of defenses, I'm fucking sign me up, man.
Yeah,
sign me up because that is the type of champion.
Mr. Alberti, what's going on?
Boston, baby.
The voice of AEW. There we go. They got a doc spotlighting AEW and featuring the formerly mentioned Ethan Pages is showing in May 6th in Chicago and May 15th in Boston. Those are both of our towns right there, JPJ.
Yeah, I am not far from Boston at all. A stone's throw.
We might have to check that out. It's nice to see you, Alberti. But I do want to bring up this fact because wrestling fans are typically negative. I just want to highlight the fact that we have gotten, at least in my opinion, 4 Match of the Year candidates in the past week. I'll go to the ladder match at WrestleMania, for me personally. Punk and Reigns is easily one of the best matches of the year. Zarya versus Soul on NXT on Tuesday was incredible. And then Darby Allin versus Tommaso Ciampa is easily a Match of the Year candidate for me. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was really, really good. It was really, really good. Ciampa being busted open and just bleeding like a pig.
That needs to be an action figure. It's just the crimson mask that was over his bald. Bald people look good with blood all over.
100%. But yeah, I just thought there were some massive spots in this match. The crossbody from the post through the table from Darby onto Ciampa was a massive spot. Obviously, the air raid crash off the top rope to the floor was just wild.
Insane.
Yeah, man. It was just really, really good. It's just and towards the end of this, it was a great show. And towards the end of this match, I thought for sure, I was like, are they gonna put it on Ciampa?
I believed it. Yeah,
I was like, is this a 1-week title reign for Darby? Like, just gonna give it? And
I would have loved it if they did it.
I was like, give it fucking Ciampa. Like, give it to him.
Can you imagine him with Goldie there? Come on.
Oh my god. And I was like, do it. I was like, this is like at one point
Lightning
he hit
in a bottle.
3 or 4 of those knees.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is over.
Well, and realistically, imagine if they did flip the title again. Like, you would have to tune in every week to AEW.
If they would have done that 2 weeks in a row, where at the end of Dynamite we had new world champions, that would tell your fans and even casuals, like, holy shit, I can't miss Dynamite because 2 weeks in a row there's been a new world champion.
Now I'm kind of wishing they would have done it. Just to
would have been nuts.
Steal headlines. I mean, they would have taken a lot of the WrestleMania highlights.
I mean, they took a good amount of the headlines going into WrestleMania weekend with Darby winning it. If you would have come out, especially with people feeling iffy about how that weekend went, and then you had the former WWE guy win the fucking world title, that would have been nuts.
Been money. But either put us in the chair, Tony.
It was a great title defense by Darby, like I said. And next week he's fighting Brody King for the championship. If he has another banger match with Brody,
he will.
Which he will. This is the Darby Allin I've wanted to like. This is the Darby Allin that got people to love him. Yes, he does the car crash stuff, but like this was a pretty standard wrestling match that he did with Ciampa last night. And it was fucking awesome. And he was great in it. And Ciampa was obviously great. But Darby was great in this match. This is what I need to see. You give me this Darby Allin every week, and I have no problem with him being the champ, being the face of the company. Because this was the Darby Allin type matches that I was missing. Because it was all, you're going to get murdered for 15 minutes and then fucking do an inside cradle and win. I don't want that Darby Allin.
And that wasn't this. Correct.
Guy. I want this guy. And this is what I thought, not this long, but the world title match should have been more like that. Like MJF should have hit a couple heat seekers and Darby just didn't quit. Yeah. And then it was like, holy shit, he's still alive. And then, oh my God, he's going to do it. Oh my God, he did it. And then that is the moment, as opposed to, holy shit, he's going to squash him? Oh, all right. Oh my God, he fucking did it. Like, I just think there's so much more in that first, oh my God, he did it, than the way they did the, oh my God, he did it. You know, but this shit last night was fucking awesome.
Yeah, top to bottom. I mean, the great main event, great show. I mean, that's just great wrestling recently. That's what, guys, it's not all bad. Seriously, you could watch wrestling and not complain. It is possible because NXT was great this week. AEW was fantastic this week. Night 2 of WrestleMania was better. I told
Raw was pretty good. I thought Raw was a good.
Oh, actually, Raw was very good because things are fresh once again. There's new talent. And the Demon's back. That seems fresh,
I thought
too.
The Cody and Punk tease was really, really good. Roman, I was live doing like kind of a watch along for Raw, and earlier, and Peggy was in the chat, and I said, "Who's interrupting Roman later?" And Peggy said Oba, and I said, "No, they're saving that for later.
That for SummerSlam." Yeah.
I said, "What about Jacob Fatu?" And then an hour later or so, it was Jacob Fatu, and I said, "Okay." Well, and I love Raw. And I know we're talking AEW and we're going to get out of here, but I love Roman just being like, "Oh, I'm champion again." Yeah, no, I'm fucking working with my cousins. You can go fuck yourself. You can go fuck yourself.
Listen, I love Roman. I love the bloodline, but I don't need to see it again. I don't need to see it again.
Now I'm working with my cousins.
Run it back.
Tonga's going to be coming around here soon. I don't give a shit. This is all back to normal. I'm here all summer. Guess what? We're working with my cousins all summer because that's.
And he's probably going to print money because they do regardless. It doesn't 100%. Really matter. Jacob Fatu's the truth, man. Right after he beat Drew McIntyre, I tweeted it out. I said, Jacob Fatu's going to be in the world title picture very soon.
I don't like him losing right away, though. So.
I don't either, but maybe there's some shenanigans at Backlash.
Maybe.
Jacob ain't going to... Yeah, I think Tama Tonga trying to help Jacob Fatu win could be money. Well, we'll find out. But overall, great episode of AEW Dynamite. And guys, don't forget, JPJ will be taking over on Thursdays going forward. I start my new job here in a couple weeks, so don't worry. Kayfabe Coffee is going nowhere on Tuesdays. The Great Brown Hope will be hosting. That'll be the Monday Night Raw recap every Tuesday morning. And then, of course, Thursday mornings, we talk AEW Dynamite over here. But JPJ, before we go, why don't you let the people know where they can find you and what you got coming up later this week?
Yeah. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern over on Love Wrestling. Huge episode of Between Two Beards. We have Minnie Portable joining us for the first hour. She was also in Las Vegas for WrestleMania, so we're going to be talking about her experiences and running through WrestleMania with her. And then when she hops off at 9 o'clock, we have SP3, our man, SP3 joining us for the back half of the show. So a loaded show tonight, talking AEW, talking WrestleMania, and the NFL draft is happening tonight.
My team doesn't have a pick.
So Pluggo and I usually keep tabs and update the NFL draft as it's going. It's kind of a thing we do. So it's a big night tonight.
The Pats have
just 31, baby. We have the second to last because of the Super Bowl. Yeah, so we have 31. So we got that Sunday. Fightful overbooked, noon Eastern. Auntie Collins and myself, coast to coast. So we got that going on. And then you can find me on Body Slam after Raw on Mondays and coming back shortly after Dynamite on Wednesdays, taking a little hiatus, trying to find a new little co-host here or there to join me. But yeah, follow me right here. My schedule drops every Monday. I also stream on my Twitch. We play a lot of MLB The Show and games like that. So yeah.
Yeah, show some love to JPJ. Just like myself, me and him are always posting new content, so make sure you're following me. We don't intentionally do this, guys, and I promise you we are still friends, but my show will also be live tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking about my WrestleMania weekend experience, so if you want, come hang out with the OTM crew tonight, but you could still watch both shows, guys. Even if you're not live watching the Beards or not live watching OTM, go back and watch our respective shows after you watch the other one. That's the way to do it. Beards, OTM, that's all you need on a Thursday night, if you ask me, right?
I agree.
That's all it is. So while you're here, guys, make sure you're keeping up with the network and follow us on all the socials at mainevent_net. We are only 29 days away from the 24-hour marathon stream. You will see everybody from the Main Event Network. You might see some professional wrestlers on stream, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe here on YouTube. We are on the road to 400 subscribers, and we can't do it without you. We have an upload every single day here. Pro wrestling content from TNA, WWE, AEW, you name it. We got it over here at the Main Event Wrestling Network. But this might be one of the final times I am here for Kayfabe Coffee, so I appreciate your guys' support over the past 26 episodes. But like I said earlier, this show's future is in great hands with the GBH and JPJ taking over on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So thank you once again for checking out episode 26 of Kayfabe Coffee here on the Main Event Wrestling Network. We will see you next time. Take care, everyone.